No, Mother, I cannot come pick you up today, I told you. Can't you get a ride home? Call Mr. Uber. Maybe he can take you home. I don't have the phone number, Mother. I just heard that it was a thing you can do. You call Mr. Uber. I don't know who he is. I don't know what church he goes to. Why would I know that? I just said I don't know who he is. Mother, I have to go. No, I have to go. There's a beautiful lady here. It's the curtains. Remember we called about the curtains? Yes, one moment. Would you mind having a seat? I will be off the phone in 1 second. I'm not talking to you, Mother. I'm on the phone with you right now. We are on the phone. Mother, I am not there. If you need a ride home from bingo, you can either wait for me or call Mr. Uber, okay? I do not have control over the situation right now. Things are definitely looking up, and you do not want me leaving here right now, okay? You keep talking about grandchildren, so you just need to stop, all right? Just sit there, play another round or something. I know you got some money stashed in your bra. Just pull it out, air it out, and give it to them. They'll take boob money. They don't care. Mother, you know that money all goes for liquor anyway. That is not blasphemy if it's true. Now look, Mother, I can't talk anymore. I gotta go. Oh, no, I'm not coming to pick you up. We can talk about who's a bad son when you get home. Now, I will see you later. Okay, bye. Ma'am, I do apologize. I did not mean for it to go on that long. Thank you so much for coming out. Yes, ma'am, I am Carl. Yes, it is a profound pleasure to make your acquaintance. And what is your name? Oh, that's a beautiful name. Does it mean anything, or is it just random words, random letters? Oh, that's nice. Yes. I believe I was named after a family member, but I'm not sure. It's never been really explained to me. I'm starting to think it might have been a bad thing, like a curse, but I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't explore it. I'm not sure how that should go. But, oh, yes, ma'am, I am ready to talk about curtains. Thank you for coming out. Oh, sorry, window treatments. That's right. Yes, we definitely need window treatments here in this house. Yeah, it is, no, okay, well, there's an asterisk by it, but, it is my house. Well, it will be. See, it's a situation. See, my mother lives with me, in her house. But when it's going to be mine after we go through probate and all that, because she won't pay to get anything done ahead of time, so I have to go to court and all that. Eventually, it's going to be mine. It's just a matter of time. Tick tock, tick tock. That sounded awful morbid. I do apologize. I'm talking about my mother. That sounded worse than it actually was in my head, and I apologize for that. We don't even know one another, and you probably don't think too much of me now. But we do have a budget. A price range. A hope, anyway. So what I was thinking was, see, we have these windows in here, and they are shower curtains. We tried to find some nice ones. They had these shower curtains at Dollar Tree, and I thought they would be wonderful. But then we found out that they dry out in the sun when the sun shines on them, and they become brittle. And then they just become confetti that just rains down, and it gets in the vents in the floor. The budget, yes. Now, personally, I don't mind spending money. Now, I don't mean to brag, okay? I don't. We just met, and I don't mean to brag. But I do have a shot at a job with a Fortune 500 company. It is coming up. I can feel it any day now. It's gonna pop, and I'm gonna be rolling in dough. There's a cashier position at Walmart that's opening up. Yes, ma'am, and I'm gunning for it. So I'm just saying, if things work out, gonna have some money real soon. So I figure we can, play a little fast and loose with the budget for these window treatments. I'm trying to use that fancy lingo. We can't just call them curtains. Oh yes, ma'am. I understand. There's more to it than just curtains. I mean, you have the baby curtains, the ones that go above the valance. That's right. The baby curtains above the curtains, and like the little curtain slip behind it, like a lady wears. There's the liner, and of course, window treatments covers it all. So my budget. Well, before we get on into all that, can I tell you something? You see, one of the reasons that I asked you, if I asked your company to send somebody out today to take all this information, I have to be honest now that we're getting to know one another so well, and we have reached this level of intimacy. Intimacy is that I may have had an ulterior motive for it. Now, I am interested in the window treatments. I really want to hear you talk about it so I can watch your mouth. You have a really lovely set of lips, and I don't mind watching you talk about anything. If you want to, I'd be for it. Yes, ma'am. I apologize. I know you got things to do, places to be. Well, one of the reasons why I wanted your company to send somebody out today was because I have come up with this idea, and I'm very excited about it. I have not presented this to anyone officially, so you're the first one, and I'm really honored to be able to pitch this to you, and I would like your honest feedback on it. I have come up with a seminar that I want to give, and I have talked to the people at the Radisson out by the airport. They have a room that they will rent to me for a reasonable price if I am interested. But I need to know if there's a market for this first. Now, I have come up with an idea for ladies, and with Valentine's Day coming up, I thought it could be very useful. You see, from what I've noticed, there are a lot of women out there that just don't have a man. And I thought, there's a market there, and I think I can fill that market. Now, I can't date them all, and I'm not saying I would, but I thought it's kind of a public service thing. I would do a seminar and teach women how to land a man. Now, would you be interested in something like that? Okay, when you say you're married, like, what do you mean? What do you mean when you say that? Well, you just restated the fact that you were married, so I'm thinking that it's not a concrete thing. It might be kind of up to interpretation a little bit. Sometimes I've found that people who are married, it's kind of a fuzzy gray area. Well, that's the way it seems in the romance novels that my mother buys. I'm starting to think they might not be rooted in reality, but maybe they are. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Women are so mysterious. I figured I would offer a Valentine's Day special. The week before Valentine's Day, you could come out to the Radisson for a reasonable price. And your phone number, if you would provide that, that'd be nice. So you could hear my presentation of how to land a man. And I have some talking points that will go along with that. So it's not just me, freestyling. I'm going to give you some concrete stuff that you can use. You could take it and use it today to land a man, finally. I mean, I know it's hard out there. It's challenging in this environment to date. I mean, trust me, nobody knows it more than I do. I am painfully single, and it is just really starting to just cause problems. Like, I feel like I'm in physical pain from it. I am very single and have been for quite some time, and my mother gets on to me about it, and she says, "Carl, I'm never going to have a grandchild. When are you going to do something about that?" And I told her she should have had more than one kid. Maybe she'd have some. Don't put all that pressure on me. It's not fair. that's my own cross to bear. I don't expect you to listen to it, but so can I just briefly go over the details of the talking points of my seminar and see if you think it's something you'd be interested in? I know you're married and all that, but maybe it might be something you could come. Maybe I could give you a special rate since you're being like my sounding board. Would you humor me? Okay, that sounds like a deal. I will tell you my budget. That's fair. I'll give you my budget for the window treatments. Okay, so here's the way I look at that. I already thought about this. So we have these 3 windows here in the parlor, the sitting room. Now we do have a few other windows that I would like done, like in the kitchen, my room. Would you like to go into my room? We could take a look in there and you could see. I cleaned up and everything. I even mopped under the bed. Would you like to see? Oh, well, I mean, I know it's not necessary, but I was just wondering if you were interested. Anyway, okay, my budget. I'll get right to the point. My budget. Now tell me what you can do with this, okay? Because I know there's a lot you can do. For each window, I'm thinking $15. That should... Oh, no, I was being serious. 15... Is that more than you're used to getting offered, or is that like a shock to your system, or... Well, don't worry, because, see, I know, maybe you're not used to dealing with a client with money, but I don't worry about it so much. It's just money. I can earn more, $15 per window. So what do you suppose what can we do with that? What all options does that open up for me? More curtains from the Dollar Tree. Okay, now, I do appreciate a woman with a sense of humor. You are funny. So you got that book there. You got a whole book. What is that? Swatches. Oh, okay. Like the watch? Or I don't need it. I don't wear a watch. See, my internal mechanism screws watches up. It's got something to do with the electromagnetic something or other from my body. I can't wear watches. They just go bonkers and I knock them out. You ever heard of that? I can't wear a watch. I kill it. Every time I kill it, something's wrong with me. I think I'm wired wrong or something. Well, exactly what kind of budget? So are you saying that's low? What? I don't think it's low. I mean, when I go to Walmart and I look at the curtains in there, they have, the Walmart brand, the Great Value curtains. You can get those for about $8. So I figured, my budget is almost double that. So that's bound to get me something good. I mean, is it... So what are we talking about then? Maybe we're just not on the same page. I thought we were simpatico. See, that's one of the tips I wanted to give the ladies at this seminar, is that one of the things you need to do if you want to land a man, get you a page a day word calendar. So you learn a new word every day. And simpatico, that was last Thursday. See, I've already forgotten what it means, but I think I'm using it right. See, that way, you could expand your vocabulary and sound really smart. And a man might find that attractive. So he might want to talk to you more if you know a lot of words. That might be good if you know lots of words. And so get a page a day calendar with words on it. Do that. So that was one thing. Now, one of the first things I would say is kind of what I did here, is you want to create situations that require services. Yeah, so the crumbling shower curtains kind of created their own situation, but you wanna maybe break something, and then you have a reason to call in a plumber maybe, or drain all the oil out of your car and lock your engine up, and then maybe you could meet a really handsome mechanic. quit your job and then the repo man comes, maybe he's a potential boyfriend or husband. There are all kinds of situations that you can do. You could clog your toilet and then flush it a bunch of times. Just about anything you can think of. Sit in the middle of traffic. You might meet a nice EMT. So there's all kinds of stuff. So that's something you could do. Another thing you want to do is go to where the men are. You want to just do more than look. I mean, you gonna have to, sometimes you're going to have to go all the way to where they are. You know what I mean? And it seems to me that a lot of ladies have just become very content to just sit at home, and then they wonder why they can't land a man. Well, the man is probably not going to come knock on your door unless, again, you create the situation like I was just saying. See, I created a situation, or I took advantage of a situation that brought a beautiful woman into my life that otherwise I probably would have never met. I mean, do you live around here? I'm just wondering if we could ever possibly bump into one another somewhere, like wherever you maybe shop, if there's a store that you go to, or is your office in this area, or what kind of car have you got? I can't really see it. You're parked up the street. But, if I knew all those details, I could kind of gauge whether or not we would ever actually run into one another. It'd just be useful information. Oh no, I am interested in the price range for the, yeah. So how much? Is that in dollars, or what is that, yen? What is that? There's dollars. Oh, ma'am. Yeah, I don't know how Mother would feel about that. See, that's a lot of money. Because if you're talking about 3 windows in here, in the kitchen, and if you do Mother's bedroom, the Mother's bedroom has 2 windows. It's going to be mine one of these days. It's like the corner office. I'm working my way back there, and you just got to wait for the old heads to die. You didn't hear me say that. 1 window in my room. You're talking about a whole lot of money. I mean, what exactly do you get for that? Yeah, curtains, valance, the sheer, yeah. That just sounds kind of, are you sure about that? Do you want to check your math on that? Because that sounds heinous. That was today's word, heinous. And this sounds heinous to me. I am particularly aggrieved, perplexed by this heinous proposal that you have proposed. I believe you to be quite truculent, not to put too fine a point on it. Well, no, ma'am, I've never spoken with anyone else about window treatments. You're the first person I've ever talked to about it, so that's kind of special. We have something very special together, I think. Would you like to hold my hand? See, we could talk and connect. Well, that's okay, maybe later. So anyway, back to my seminar. So if I could continue. So I was saying a lot of women, they prefer to sit at home, and they would rather be alone than be out looking for a man. Now, again, I know in today's environment it can be very challenging with, the internet, and I don't really understand the internet, but from what I understand, there's internet dating, like you date the internet or something. Well, these women are sitting at home dating the internet, and they don't ever meet an actual man, like they meet a man and he's not what they thought he was going to be, and that'd be very frustrating. So what you need to do, now I know women don't think of this, but here's what you need to do if you want to land a man, especially Valentine's Day coming up. You don't want to be alone on Valentine's Day, do you? Oh, your husband, yeah. Oh, I don't see him here now. I mean, you're here with me, and yes, ma'am, I know you're working. I'm sorry, I'm being very forward. I do apologize for my boldness. I'm just saying he's not here, and I do understand that you are working, and it would not be appropriate for him to follow you around. Is that not appropriate? So if you're in a relationship with someone, how do you know how far you can go? I mean, can you can you follow them to work? If they don't know you're following them, is that wrong? If you just want to come check on them during the day, that would not be, that's not something you as a woman would like. Okay, I might have to incorporate that in there. Don't stalk the person you like, because that's bad. Would that be stalking, really? I mean, because if you care about the person, I don't know if that's stalking or not. I personally, I wouldn't mind. Like, if you wanted to follow me and you wanted to go where I'm going, now I would have no problem with you doing that. Now, if you could even ride in the car with me. Now, mind you, if we're in my car, I cannot go out after dark because I do have night blindness. During the day, we'll get in my El Camino and we'll ride all day. If you have gas money, because right now I'm a little cash poor, if you know what I mean. Oh, no, ma'am. No, see, mother would be paying for the window treatments. Because right now, as I said, I'm awaiting that Fortune 500 job that's going to open up any day, and I'm being very hopeful about that. I rub my lucky rabbit's foot all the time, and that's not a euphemism. I literally have a rabbit's foot on a keychain, and I'm rubbing that a lot for luck. It's dyed purple. I think that makes it work better. Got it at the flea market. Very nice man. It's $3. Anyway, she will be paying for the window treatments, but I need to keep it under a certain amount, see, because she's on a fixed income. And right now we're still paying off Christmas. I got a new sit and spin. I was very happy with that. They make them for adults, and I wanted one really because it helps with my vertigo. You would think it wouldn't, but it kind of does something for my brain, and I can walk straighter after being on it for a while. It's really rejuvenating. If you want to try it, I got it on the back porch. I had it on the front porch, but the neighbors kept calling the police. They said it was inappropriate, but I had shorts on. I don't know what the problem was. Anyway, so we're a little tight on money right now, but we do want some window treatments. They sound nice, and from looking at your swatches there, I'm referring to the fabric. I'm not looking at your crotch. The book is right there, and I'm looking in your crotchal region, but I'm not looking at anything but the fabric. It's very nice fabric. I like it. High quality. So, do you do payments? Do you do layaway? They used to do layaway at Kmart, but then Kmart went away, and that kind of ruined Christmas for us when I was growing up. But that's neither here nor there. So, I'm thinking, what about this? What if we do a payment plan? Now, we could probably work out, now let's see what we could do with this, $5 a week. A week. That's not even a month. We could do a week. So that's about $20 a month. Now, what could we get for that? A business card. Well, that's not going to look too good. I don't know how much you're going to cover with that. Can I get back to my seminar? Because this is starting to bum me out a little bit. I have become moribund. That's not right. I'm sad. That wasn't in the word of the day. I can't think of. I was trying to think if there's been a sad one, but it's only February, so I haven't seen that many yet. Obsequious. No, that's not it. Here's what I'm thinking. So don't sit at home. Ladies, do not sit at home. You need to go where the men are. Okay, so where do you find men? You could go to the auto parts store. You could go to the grocery store. Now, men buy groceries. Go in there, wander around in the produce section, squeeze some lemons, squeeze some melons, and wait for a man to come in. And what you want to do is you want to look lost and confused. Or look for a man who looks lost and confused. You could do it either way. Meet you a man. And then maybe you can start dating and you won't be alone anymore. And that would be good, because it's not, who wants to be alone? I mean, I hate it. I just absolutely hate it, because the only person I have in my life is my mother. And sometimes I feel like she's holding me back. I feel like it's just having her around. It's just making everything harder. And if she wasn't around, I'd probably be rolling in ladies at this point. It's my personality. I do have a magnetic personality. My watch can't even handle it. So, don't wait for the men to approach you, because a lot of times we won't. We'll sit in the corner and stare, and we'll stare at you all night, hoping you'll get the hint and come over. But no, you just end up going somewhere else because you feel uncomfortable. Well, you got to look for the men that stare, because some of us just don't know how to approach. We don't know how to say anything. So you just walk right up to them, stick your hand out, and say, "Hello, my name is so-and-so." I'm not saying that's your name, but I'm just saying as an example. And then introduce yourself, and you can meet a man that way. And when we ride by and we holler at you out of our car, strike up a conversation. Run and keep up with us till we get to the next stoplight, and then chat for a minute if the light is red. And you could find a man that way. Go to the library and look for a man. There might be men in there. There might be men in there that know a bunch of words. If they're in the library, they probably do. And that's why that word-a-day calendar can really come in handy. You could sound so smart. It at least get your foot in the door. You could get a start with a man, and so you wouldn't be alone. You could have a man. You could, let's see, what else could you do? So go to the bowling alley. A lot of men go bowling. It would be good to learn a skill that a man can appreciate, like bowling, playing an instrument. Get a dog. You could get a dog and go to the dog park and meet men that way. You could go take a class and meet a man. Basically, you just have to get out of the house and get yourself around some men. Now, I would recommend, just as an example, like go to the East Main Street Walmart between 8 and 9 a.m. on Mondays. That's when they have their quiet hours. You might meet a particular man on that morning. I'm always there during those hours because it's the quiet hours. And Mother likes to go in when they turn the music off and it's supposed to be quiet, because with her hearing aid, all that racket just drives her crazy. See, I can ditch her. I could leave her. You get her over there in the lean cuisine section in the frozen food. She'll be over there for a half hour looking at the salt content and the fat content, and she's talking to me, but she's not expecting an answer, so she's just monologuing, looking at the nutrition information on the back of these meals about everything. "Oh, look at the cholesterol in this one. Look at the sodium. Oh my God, I'm going to die before I even eat this. I'll die just heating it up. My arteries will clog before I take a bite." And she'll just go on like that. I can wander off from her and we could chat, you see. Or you could come to the seminar and then we could chat after that, because she won't even be there. I'm not even going to tell her about it. She thinks we're just talking about window treatments. Wait till she finds out. She will be blown away, because she's always saying that I'm underwhelming and average. She ain't going to find out I'm anything but. I am very exceptional. That's what the teachers used to tell me, that I was exceptional. I think that was what they said. It was something like that. So I got the feeling that I was one of the special kids. Yeah, they had special things for us, and it made me feel good. I think if you learned the accordion, that could be a good thing. I mean, how many women do you know that can play the accordion? Have you ever tried to play the accordion? You could learn that. Do you know how to cook? Now, that's another thing. If you can cook, you could definitely land a man, because most of us can't cook worth a darn. I'm not saying no man can cook, but a lot of us can't cook. So if you could just cook, how good you are at cleaning up. See, a lot of us, you know, we've had our mothers all our lives, and what would be really good if we could just have like a second mother, not like in that way, but somebody that could take care of us for the rest of our lives, like when we're sick, and you can wash our clothes and things. And I'm not saying that's all you have to do, but yeah, we would love that if we could find that, and then you wouldn't be alone anymore, and that's really the most important thing. So if we could do a little confab, the two of us, before I set up this thing. Now, does this sound, and you can be totally honest with me, I'm fine with it. Would you be interested in a seminar of that nature to land a man? Is that something that you would be willing to do? I haven't really decided on the cost yet. Well, I was thinking maybe that maybe $200 a person. I don't think that's too much to ask. And a phone number, of course. When you register, I will need your phone number and like a picture and your name, where you live, where you work, next to kin, just basic stuff like that. It's just registration information that I would need for the attendees of the seminar. So, well, can you tell me why you would not be interested? I mean, you sound pretty sure. Are you sure? It sounded pretty definite, but, with a woman, I can't ever tell. I can't read y'all worth a darn. I do remember that you said you were married, because you keep saying that. It's almost like you're becoming a little defensive. You just keep saying it like you have to prove something. I don't know if you're trying to convince me or yourself. Yeah, I know you said you were married, but again, I don't see him here. So, are you really that married? Well, if he's at work, I mean, that's fine. But, I mean, does he work all the time? Is he a workaholic? Because you don't need a man like that. That's another thing I would recommend in a seminar. Don't be a workaholic. No man wants to be with a woman that just works all the time. That's boring. We want to be able to go out and do stuff. So be available. And, anything interesting that you can bring into the scenario would be good. Like if you have a 10-gallon hat, for example, you could put that on and go to the mall and just walk around. And I bet you could meet a man. I bet walking around in a great big hat, like one of those giant oversized cowboy hats, I bet you could meet somebody wearing that. You have to be able to think outside of the box. Have you ever heard that term? Think outside the box. You gotta be able to do that in order to land a man. And I've been thinking about it a whole lot. And I think one of the reasons why I've been single for so long is that women just don't understand how to do things as far as relationships. And they need some help. And I figure I'm the perfect person to help, because I've been single for so long that I've had plenty of time to observe things going on in the world, because I have nothing else to do, really. And I have been in between jobs for a while, and so I have a lot of free time. And I don't have any money, so I can't go do anything. I can sit at the park on the bench, and I watch people jogging by and walking and, playing with their dog and their kids. And so I've had plenty of time to watch. And I think the problem is that just women do not understand what it takes to land a man. And see, it's kind of a selfish thing, because if I can help women figure this stuff out, maybe I can get a woman for me. Ultimately, that would be really the best outcome of this seminar, if I could just get that. And the money from the registrations would help carry me over until that big job opens up. I think another thing that women don't think of is that you have to look for opportunities as they present themselves, and sometimes an opportunity may not look like an opportunity. Like, say, You're driving down the road, right? And you see a sign for a family reunion. It's that way. You should take a turn and go to that family reunion. So you just go and you go up and you say hey and you introduce yourself. You grab a plate of food and you just sit down and talk to these people. I bet you could meet a whole bunch of men that way. Now, the only problem is they may think that you're related to them. So you need to find a way to let them know that you're not. So I've always kind of had this bucket list thing, this unofficial bucket list thing that one of these days I want to be just driving down the road and see a family reunion and just stop and don't even explain myself. Just walk up, hey, how's everybody doing? Get me some food and eat and then leave. And everybody goes, who was that? I thought you knew who it was. You don't know who? I don't know who that was. I have no idea. I think that'd be hilarious. Think of the men you could meet if you did that. Or you could stop at a wedding if you saw a wedding going on. So that'd be another reason to always kind of dress up a little bit, spruce yourself up a little bit. That way, if you came across a pop-up wedding somewhere, you could just walk in and be one of the guests. People wouldn't know who you were. But, men and women can feel very romantic at weddings. The alcohol helps too. And sometimes there's free booze and people get very frisky and you can meet someone that way. And don't be afraid to try unconventional gatherings. For example, God forbid there's a funeral. Don't be afraid to, pop in and pay your respects. And as you bend over the casket, just take a minute coming back up. Maybe, look back that way a little bit. And then you just saunter on down and introduce yourself to the men there that look good to you. Of course, use your tact. You don't want to... If somebody's weeping uncontrollably, it might not be the time to try to, hike up your skirt and give them your phone number. But give them a minute to calm down and maybe then try the skirt and the phone number. It might get you somewhere. Plus, if they're all upset, they're going to be even more vulnerable to your advances than they might normally be. Not that I would ever do that. I would never do that to try to meet someone, but if it might work, one of these days it might work, and you won't get the cops called on you. That'd be real good if that wouldn't happen again. Anyway, you could meet somebody at a funeral even. I know that's kind of morbid, but you could meet somebody at a funeral and then you'd have a story to tell the rest of your life. I met my husband at a funeral and I don't even know who died. To this day, I don't know who it was because I'm too afraid to ask because I acted like I knew. So, what kind of payment? My payment proposal is not good for you. Okay, well, what do you propose then? $100 a week? For how many weeks? Are you serious? For window treatments? I don't need all new windows. The windows are fine. I just wanted something to put over the windows. I don't want to... Oh, yes, ma'am. Well, at that price, I thought I was getting new windows too. I'm starting to think maybe we are not simpatico here. We're not grooving on the same wavelength with the whole window treatment thing. Yeah, I'm starting to think this might not work out because I just don't know that we're going to be able to meet in the middle on a price. Honestly, ma'am, I had no idea it was that expensive. If I had known, I would have played it a little bit more smooth when he showed up. No, I still wanted to talk to you because I mainly just wanted to ask about the seminar and how you felt about it. And I figured with you being a window treatment company, it'd be a lady that would come out. Not that I'm sexist or anything. I just assumed it would be a lady, and I was right. So there's something to be said for that. Although I know there are men that do this selling stuff. I know that. That's why they're called salesmen, right? So what do they call it when you do it? Is it a sales lady or a sales S or Mrs. Sales? How do you say it? Oh, well, a seller works too, I reckon. Sales associate. That's nice. That sounds professional. And you look very professional. I mean, you're dressed very nice. You kind of look like a flight attendant with what you're wearing, but nothing wrong with that. I think flight attendants are very attractive. Not that I ever get to fly, but every now and then we will watch reruns of The Love Boat and Fantasy Island. And every now and then you'll see an airport or something, and you'll see the flight attendants walking around. I believe they were called stewardesses back then. And they had their little suits and their little suitcases, and they looked very smart. Kind of remind me of one of those, like a stewardess from the 60s or something. Very fashionable, very nice. I like it. So, what do you think of the seminar? I have to know before you go. Just give me your honest opinion. I can totally take it. Okay, well, so your lips are saying no, hell no, but your eyes are saying something I can't quite read. I'm seeing frustration in your eyes. Is it because you want to back out on what you told me earlier, that you were married and you just don't know how to do it? It's okay. We didn't even know each other. That was so long ago. It's okay. You can be honest with me and tell me that you're not married. I'm not going to judge, if you lied. I mean, we started our relationship with a lie, but I'm not going to judge you for that. If you would just accompany me, to the buffet on Valentine's Day, I will forgive all. We won't ever mention that again. Oh. Well, okay. So if you're married, right? What's your husband's name? Well, you came up with an answer pretty quick. What are y'all doing for Valentine's Day? Oh, that's an expensive restaurant. No, ma'am, I can't afford that. But if you are determined to keep, the story going, that's fine. That's fine. Can you speak on behalf of all the single ladies out there and just let me know? Would you consider? Is it the price? I can drop the price a bit. Is that what would keep you from the seminar? Is it the money? Well, I don't know what to do. I still want to go forward with it. I think it could be a great success. I think I'm going to go ahead because I've already made up some poster boards with my different points on them, and I'll be presenting the poster boards, and I'm going to have seating for everyone and free hot dogs. Yes, we're doing free hot dogs and Kool-Aid. I'm going to have Kool-Aid in 2 flavors, cherry and grape, no ice, but we're going to have cups, so you don't have to worry about that. And I think it's going to be a great success. I'm going to go ahead with it because as I have sat here and thought about it and gone through the point, I feel more confident than ever that this is going to be wonderful, and it is definitely a service that is needed in this community. So I'm psyched, and I got to get everything wrapped up and ready before Valentine's Day. So I do appreciate your input and your insincerity, but you're adorable, so I will let it slide. Now, if you ever decide that you want to drop the charade of, being married or whatever, you know where to find me. This is my home, where my mother lives, and I will be here if you ever want to go out. So, I do have your card. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. And I did memorize the number on there. I'm just being upfront and very transparent about that. No, ma'am, I won't call. But thank you for your candor. I do appreciate your veracity and your truthfulness. I've run out of words. You've scrambled my brain and I can't remember any more of my words. We need to get further into the year so I have a more eloquent response to you. And right now I'm grasping at straws. But thank you for stopping by. I wish you all the luck in your marriage and your window treatment sales. And I'm sure you're going to do great. If you find somebody, with that kind of money, I wish you the best. So thank you for your advice, and I hope that, one day you will come check me out in my ever so successful seminar.